If you are on YouTube, you can catch ineedsalessupport.com for reminders, updates, live events, just to stay in touch, stay in the loop. That's the newsletter. www.ineedsalessupport.com. So we're going to jump right in. I'm closing some windows so that I share what only needs to be shared. But I also want to be transparent. So I'm going to show you today. We're going to cover how to create sales success for your week. All right, how to plan your week for sales success. So to me, sales success is being able to spend more time serving and less time selling, because you're not convincing people to work with you. Invoices are paid on time. Your clients are signing up, so you can focus your time and energy on making the world a better place, on providing that transformation, on solving problems, on adding value. I don't want you to be worried about the money. That's the last thing you need to be worried about. I want you to worry about, and I use that term as your primary concern or persistent thoughts. I want you to worry about the client. So what we're going to learn today is how to plan your week for sales success. Man, shout out to Coach Michelle Welch, the Oprah of productivity. I've learned a lot of things from her, and you'll hear some overlap. Definitely have to give credit where credit is due. But there's a few subtle differences, there's a few subtle differences because our focus is going to be primarily and almost exclusively revolving to revenue in our business. Okay. So if you're just hopping in, we're covering Sales Success Sunday, how to create sales success for your week. So let me share the screen. Let's get right to it. If you've been here before, we're just going to get right to it. No fluff, all bars. And I wonder if it's going to pick up its typing in the microphone. Well, that's fine. I do this live. I want to let you know this is top of the head. It's not memorized. This is from experience. This is what worked, not once, not twice, not 5 times, but over the past 15 years. And I want to help you get there faster and smoother. So here's the first concept. It's time management. Time management. Let me see if I remember this. It's a Control Shift 5, Alt Shift 5. There it is. I don't want you to think about time management. You cannot manage time. Time is going to proceed however you view this concept of reality or around time. Time is going to proceed with or without you. So here's what we're going to focus on this week is self-management. Okay, I'll turn off my strike through. There we go. We're going to manage how I pass through time. And you're like, well, this is supposed to be sales success. This got kind of deep really quickly. Stay with me. I don't want you to get frustrated, though, when life happens, the unexpected happens, what's out of our control happens, because you'll spend too much time upset about things you can't control. No pun intended, but namely time. So we're not going to focus on time management. We're going to focus on self-management. What can I control during this week? So let's go through this week. What's today? Today's Sunday. So let's say over the next 7 days, I want to create $10,000 in revenue. Okay, $10,000 revenue. Here's the concept number 2. You cannot achieve any goal. You cannot control the outcome. You can only control the input. What does that mean, Bruce? You're talking in circles. I never want you to be frustrated. Man, I set a goal of 10,000 this week and I didn't hit it. That goes back to self-management. What did you do? What did you control to hit this goal? I can't control when people pay me, unfortunately. What can I control? New connections, phone calls, text messages. Thank you, autocorrect. Emails, invoices sent. They cannot pay an invoice they never received. So while I cannot control when they paid that invoice, I can control, did I send the invoice? So as we go through this week, sales success starts with yourself. That's why it's so important. I say this time and time again. One new skill will change your life. One new skill will change your life. So the skill of productivity, the skill of planning, the skill of goal setting, a skill of strategy, those skills, or a combination of one skill, right? Amalgamation of one larger skill, that's self-management. I keep saying that all the time. Maybe I need to change the title. I don't want you to worry about the outcome. You want to focus on the inputs. We're going to say it again. Don't worry about the outcome. Focus on the end. Let me change the terms. Let's say your goal is to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds. So let's say kilograms. I'm feeling international. Kilograms, all right? Hey, maybe you want to gain a few pounds. You want to increase some weight, whatever reason, doesn't matter. You can't wake up in the morning, I want to change my weight by 10 pounds. I want to change my weight by 5 kilograms, up or down. Why can't I do that, Bruce? I thought you said one new skill will change my life. Check this out. I can control my inputs, what I eat. I can control, check this out, what I don't eat. Oh, I'm talking to me on that one. Those are inputs, quite literally here, right? What I'm putting into my body. I can control my sleep. One of the underrated healthy weight management is sleep. Now, if somebody say, "Oh, I have narcolepsy, I have sleep apnea," you can still commit to being in your bed, right? All screens off, dark room, cool, comfortable temperature, at the same time every night. That's good sleep hygiene. You can commit to showering before bed, maybe putting on a little lavender or mint, right? And you can control that part. If you have some other difficulties, listen, I understand those are challenges, but that doesn't make it impossible. That just makes it difficult. So no excuses. I recognize everyone's has different challenges, no excuses. Okay. I can control my exercise. Oh, Bruce, I'm differently able. Then choose different exercises. Choose static exercises. Work with a specialist trainer for what works for you. And then again, this is an example. I'm not telling you to lose or gain any weight. What I'm telling you is you cannot control your weight. You can control your activity. So let's bring it back to my goal. I want to create $10,000 in new revenue. Okay, that's what I want to, that's my target in my head for this week. Here's something else. Here's number 3. So let's see. Number 1, self-management, right? Number 2, control the input. Let's say slash activity. Activity. There we go. Number 3, dream big, start small. So the target for this week is $10,000 in new revenue. I did not do that last week, so let's be very transparent. Ray, I'm not always frustrated when people tell you how they have $1 million day, but they don't tell you how they spent $500,000 in ads. Does it work? Yes. But now I have a different question. Where did the $500,000 come from? Okay. People skip steps. They forget the journey. So I'm going to help you with the journey. So I want to give you the whole picture. I did not make $10,000 in revenue last month. What I did, though, is I had consistent activity, which created some new opportunities I'm going to tell you about here in a minute. I don't want you to be realistic. Here's what happens when you're realistic. If you said, I want to create $500 in new revenue this week, what happens is you get 550 and you stop. You're like, yay, 110% to go, yay. We did it, do a little sales success dance. But what's going to happen is I want to create $10,000 in new revenue, and I'm going to fail. This is a tough one. Take this and apply to your life as it applies to your life. I'm going to shoot for $10,000 in revenue, and I'm going to fail. I'm not going to hit that. You're like, oh, Bruce, that's negative thinking. You're being hypercritical of yourself. Now check this out, though. I may fail and do 6,000. But actually, let's do this. Let's do 5,000. Let's do 5,500. So that's a failure, right? I missed my goal, my revenue goal, by over 45%. That's terrible. You suck, right? But here's the problem. And here's the win. Because I set my goal unreasonably high, my failure is 10 times higher than your success. Let me say that again. Because I set my goal unreasonably high, my failure is 10 times higher than your success. If whatever mental gymnastics you need to do so that you can make that work for your life or your business, do it. Stretch and do the gymnastics, because a lot of people look at failure negatively when really failure is progress. The only people that don't fail are people that don't try. And so the opposite of success really isn't failure, it's inactivity. It's stagnating. It's apathy. I encourage you to set your goals too high. That's a whole nother training. Stay on focus. Let's get back on track. How do we do sales success for a week? Number 3, dream big, start small. There is a number I want to hit, and there's a number I need to hit. You should have a baseline, what your business needs. I've got my business running really lean right now. And my goal is to keep it that way. I do plan. Oh, I got to schedule that. Thanks for reminding me. Operations manager, that'll increase my cost, but it'll also increase my capacity. That's a whole nother lesson. But right now, I need about $2,000 a month to run my business. That's software licenses, any contractors I hire to do, phones and things for me, about $2,000. Right now, I'm not running ads. Just need $2,000. So I know as long as I'm above this number, so let's put base up here. I'm still running a profitable business, not just a successful business, but a profitable business. I have enough to cover the business expenses. But our stretch goal, my target is still going to be, let's highlight this. That 10,000, that's not going to change. I'm not going to misguide myself or lie to myself. I have realistic numbers. I track things daily, but I have unrealistic goals. So Bruce, it sounds like you're setting yourself up for failure. Absolutely. Because here's what's going to happen. If you think you can do 500 and you accidentally do 5,000, I assure you, you're not going to be upset. I promise you. If you're used to doing $400, $500 weeks and you 10x that, you're not going to be upset. Trust me. If you are, send me a postcard. I'll send you a book. Where's my book? And, tell me, Bruce, I failed my stretch goal. I'm so upset. I'll send you a book. All right, hold me to it. You get one. Now, I just told you, though, that I can't control this outcome. So what's the activity that needs to happen for me to reach the $10,000 in new revenue this week, next 7 days? Activity should be designed to make the outcome the most likely as possible. If your activity doesn't get you closer to your goal, why are you doing it? This is where the productivity comes in. If I say, here's a perfect example. Here's a wonderful example. Friend sent me an opportunity. It's just opportunity. I don't say this to brag. I haven't got paid yet. He sent me an opportunity. Hey, Bruce, I saw this. I thought of you. It's a training program, and the contract is $175,000 for over 8 months. Okay. Right. So what's very, very dangerous is I could spend 4 or 5 hours writing this proposal. Does writing this proposal get me closer to the goal? And the answer is no. Writing proposals doesn't make you any money. Sending proposals increases your likelihood of making money. And they'll say, well, Bruce, if you don't write it, how can you send it? We have to make sure we're measuring the activity directly in alignment with the goal. This is a very interesting scenario because we have the company name, but we didn't have the contact name. What would be more, so actually check this out. I'm gonna strike this out. What would be more useful is sending some emails to decision makers. And what I want to do, so actually, that's one more thing. Look, I almost did it myself. I'm going to send 20 emails, 20 unique emails to decision. I'm going to find 20 decision makers within the company. I'm going to say, hey, I have a proposal for the training program. Who do I send it to? That directly impacts the bottom line. Because they're going to say, oh, it's me. I said, great. Give me an hour, 2 hours. I'm going to send it over. Which email should I send that to? Or who should I copy? Let's say I send them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm going to try and find 20 unique, right? I don't want to send, I say unique, this is so intentional. I don't want to send 20 messages to one person. Please do not be that guy. That's how you get blocked. That's called harassing. That's not helping. I'm going to send 20 unique LinkedIn messages. I'm going to say the same thing. Hey, I had this proposal, but you know what? I'm not sure where to send it. And they're going to say, oh, you got to send it to Bill. You got to send it to Jasmine. You got to send it to Jed. Doesn't matter. I said, great. What is their email? And send it to them. That's when I write the proposal. And I was teaching it to my client the other day. And really, if someone requests a proposal, I like to have a template set up. We can get it out an hour, maybe 2 hours tops. Because honestly, it shouldn't be a brand new program. It shouldn't be just my solution. You know what? No, I'm not going back down that route. Go look at Sales Support Saturday, writing a 6-figure proposal. We just covered that. All right. So once they tell me where to send it, then I'm going to write the proposal. And honestly, you should be doing this on the weekend. You should be doing this in off hours. And excuse me, I don't say that. Like, I don't want you missing your kid's soccer game, missing your brother's birthday party because you write proposals. But I have to be very clear that writing a proposal is not a revenue generating activity. I could spend 100 hours writing proposals and send them to 0 people. I'm going to make $0. They can be amazing. They can be beautiful. They can be articulate. They can be compelling. But if I never send them to anyone, it's not going to make any money. Activity. Let's say phone calls. I'm going to make 5 phone calls and I'm good. I only need to make 5 phone calls. Because I'm going to call the head office. I'm going to ask them questions. I'm going to call the head office again. I'm going to ask them more questions. And they're going to give me some numbers. I'm going to call those numbers. I'm going to get to the right person. I'm going to get their email. I'm going to send it. Then when I get it, I'm going to tell you all, and I'm brag like, hey, 6-figure proposal locked in. All right, I'm going to brag. I did what I told you all to do when it worked. I'm really looking forward to that. And the beautiful thing about creating a template for your proposal, I know, okay, I just said I wasn't going to talk about this, is that I can send out the same proposal to other people. If they say no, I'm just going to send it to more people, to other companies. I'm not going to waste time writing proposals to collect dust on my hard drive. That's not a revenue generating activity. So here's the big picture. So let's go back. 1 is self-management. 2 is controlling input activity. 3 is dream big, start small. 4 is prioritize. Now, here's what happens. Here's what happens time and time again. I've done it. You're going to do it, but you're going to catch yourself because you tap into sales support. I can spend all week, 4, 5, 6 days working on this one proposal because it's got a big number attached to it. And do nothing else for the week. Here's what's going to happen. They say yes. Stay with me. They say yes. They're like, Bruce, we love it. We love the outreach, love the proposal. Yeah, we're going to bring you and your team on. Yes, listen, I don't operate alone. Collaboration over competition. We've got you earmarked for January of next year. Well, man, that's great news. But guess how much revenue that gets me today? 0. So while that is lovely, the contract signed, payments pending, I can't pay today's bill with tomorrow's paychecks. I need today's paychecks to pay today's bills. So I have to be careful to prioritize. This is definitely a high priority, but it's not the only priority. So here's the next thing. I'm going to ask myself, let's assume I get a yes, but it's going to be later. Let's assume this doesn't go through this week. Who else do I need to talk to this week in order to create some revenue for the business? So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to call the last 30 people that bought my book. And listen, these are specific examples. This is my life. I'm planning my week, a little double dipping, right? I'm planning my week and I'm showing you what I do, what works, what increased sales success for my business. You can copy for your business. If you need some one-on-one help, go to www.brucehill.online, schedule a solution call. We'll find some solutions to create sales success for you. Okay. All right. So I will call 30 people who bought my book. The last 30 people, right? The most recent 30. Because here's what I can assume. If they bought my book, it's titled 8 Steps to Sales Success. It is very reasonable for me to assume they probably weren't looking for bread recipes. They probably weren't looking to learn how to skydive. The title, I'll read this to you. It says Bruce Hill, 8 Steps to Sales Success, how you can increase clarity, confidence, and compensation one conversation at a time. Okay. They aren't looking to learn how to roller skate. Probably looking for sales success. So I'm going to give them a chance to tell me yes. All right. We're going to offer them, let's say a consulting package is $2,500 a month. All right. So we can either get 4 people to do 1 month, or 2 people to do 2 months, or 1 person to do 4 months, right? 2,500 times 4, that's 10 grand. With me? You with me? Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling. So I need 4 people out of there. That's just over 10%. That's not unreasonable. But let's say all of them tell me no. They're like, Bruce, I gotta pay the rent, kids in the cast. It doesn't matter. They tell you no. I'm like, okay, they'll tell you later. Okay, so what's plan? What am I on? C? My last speaking engagement. Contact. It's called participants. Participants last speaking event. I'm going to offer them, I think there's over 200 people there. So it's a really good event. I had a lot of fun. And I'm going to offer them $100 digital product. So, hey, listen, it's only $1,000. I love you guys. You're amazing. I'm going to give it to you for $10. Okay. Now, it's not reasonable to think half of them will say yes, but that's what has to happen, right? 100 of them would have to say yes. And that would be my $10,000. Okay. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go through my Instagram, and the last let's say the last 30 days. I don't know why I like 30. People who followed me in the last 30 days, I'm going to invite them to a call. And listen, you can copy it, right? Or just, got online. I recommend if people have never been money with you, that you make an introduction first. And this is something I'll teach you if you work with me. There has to be some education before there's a transaction. That's another training for another day. Maybe we'll do that Wednesday. Okay. So the Instagram, the last 30 days, invite them to a solution call. Right? So I'm telling them, hey, go to Bruce Online, schedule a call. I'd love to help you achieve sales success for your business, right? I've got a clear, and this is what I'm doing over and over again. I don't know if I've broken this down for you all yet. I've done workshops on this. I know how much I want to make is directly tied to how many people I serve. So I need to know who I serve. I know who I don't serve. I need to know where they are. That's huge. And this is we're not running ads yet. A lot of businesses aren't ready to run ads because they can't answer those first two questions. Then we need to ask ourselves, what problem do we solve? Well, not your solution. When I say problem, a lot of people start with a solution. And that was a great training. Go look up one of our recent workshop Wednesdays. I think August 2023. And so what happens is that we talk about the problem. Even strangers will say, hey, I have that problem. Let's hear this guy out. Let's hear this one. Let's hear this person out. All right. Hey, for inclusive language. Awesome. So I know where these people are and I know what they need, what problems they have. I just have to find people with the problem I solve. And then last but not least, I'm going to go back to LinkedIn. I'm going to post an article, and I'm going to send it. You can send it to, let's say 10 people. I've already used LinkedIn to track down this proposal, right? And then I'm going to post in 10 groups. And I'm also going to send 10 new connection requests. And then also, I'm going to invite 25 people to my next virtual event. Boom. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to hear yes. Oops, let me slow down. I'm going to hear yes. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to get this training program, but a corporate deal like this one is going to take some time. It's probably not going to be this week. Those 30 people I call, one of them says yes, that's 2,500. Those participants from my speaking event, 10 of them say yes, that's 1,000. Those Instagram people, let's say I get 3 or 4 on the calendar, one of them say yes, that's 2,500. Actually, let's say none of them say yes. Okay, that's $0. This LinkedIn group, and maybe some of them scheduled for next week. This LinkedIn outreach, 2 of these people say yes, they schedule for next week. So for that week, I have somebody help me with the math. $3,500 in revenue. What was the goal? It was 1,000. So I missed the target. But 3,500 in a week, that's a pretty good week. Let's see here. Times, let's say 50 weeks. Let's say you do that 50 weeks out of the year. I didn't even mean to do that, but it ends up being $175,000 a year. That's not a bad year. That puts you in a top percentile of earners in the US and around the world. So let's go back to how to create sales success for your week. Here's something else that's going to happen. So you failed. I'm sorry. 3,500. Oh, shucks. What a terrible week. But 2 things has happened. You're going to be pretty busy doing all of this all week. This is going to keep you busy most of the week. And I have another client brand deal. That one we're shooting for about 50,000. And And I'll get a percentage of that for helping the client, land a deal. So that's going to keep me busy all week. So you should never get through the week, one, and be like, man, what did I do this week? Or two, man, I don't know what to do this week. Well, I just gave you, well, you're Bruce, I don't have training proposals to send out. I don't have client brands deals to pursue. Okay, well, then you need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be on Instagram, Facebook, wherever your people are. You need to be talking to new people. Because this is, I didn't emphasize this, but a combination here is there's people I already know, there's opportunities I've already seen, and then there's new people who never heard of me. And I'm introducing new skills new you to them. Right? I'm educating them on the problem I solve. So it's a combination of new opportunities and existing opportunities. What happens is that even if this week is a terrible week and I had $0 new dollars, if I do this again next week, and I do this again the week after, and I do it the month after, the only possible outcome is your success. One of those weeks, and what happens is, one of those weeks, one of those speaking engagements, one of those proposals, one of the brand deals, they all hit. It's the most beautiful thing. They all hit in the same month. And so all of a sudden you have this amazing month, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 month. And you're like, oh, wow. But it's the work, consistent work you did. And that's number 5. It's the consistent work you've been doing, even though you've been quote unquote failing. And this is why it's so important to set the stretch goals, because you may not hit them the first time or the second time, but as you continue, you get closer and closer and closer, and you grow into the version of yourself that can hit those goals easily, regularly, predictably, and frequently, and consistently. So if you're listening, I want to recap these for you. Self-management, not time management. Control the input, control the activity. Don't worry about the outcome. Dream big, start small. Prioritize. And be consistent. Even when you think it's not working, it's working. How are we doing on time? Listen, I've been talking, y'all been getting snippets of other trainings. I really want you to come on here every single time and be like, wow, that was good. I want you to come every single sales support training. I want you to be like, man, I'm going to put this to work, and you're going to see that it works in your business. So here's something real important though. Tracking. So here's my to-do list. You see, I'm not leading by example. It was updated July 2015. Goodness gracious. So I got to update this, and I'm going to update, my activity for this week. This is just a Google sheet. Excel sheet's fine. You can use Asana or HoneyBook. It doesn't matter. ClickUp. It doesn't matter. Track your activity. Honestly, this should be in a CRM. That's what I wanted to show you. I use one called BP System. Shout out to Book Profits Club. If you're an author, speaker, consultant, or network marketer, you need to be a part of Book Profits Club. Just shoot me a message. I'll get you my affiliate link. And so I track things in here. It's got my calendars, got my contacts, my opportunities, payments. That's my favorite, right? So if you don't have a CRM, you're like, what's a CRM? Please schedule a call. BruceHill.online. First, and I'm going to ask you about your gratitude. And then I'm going to say, hey, why did you schedule a call? You're going to say, Bruce, I don't have a CRM. Right? I might yell at you, but don't worry. I'm going to help you make some money too. So track your activities. CRM is the best place, but no excuse. Use the Excel sheet. Use a piece of paper. Okay. So got my calendar right here. Okay. Track your activity. That's how you remain consistent. That's how you say encourage, because you're like, man, it's not working. And you look at the work you're doing, you're like, it's not working yet. And that's huge, right? Got my calendar. Got a couple calendars actually. So let's just say Sunday. Hey, that's you guys. There's my LinkedIn. ZipRecruiter. And I do have some jobs to post. Beautiful. There's my buddy Brian. Shout out to Brian, sales confidence coach. Great guy. Hire him for your corporate events. Here's a sales support folder. If you want notes from previous sales support, I keep all of those. Oh, I got to put the date on this one. Okay, that's good. See, sometimes I do things right. There it is. August 19th, how to write a 6-figure proposal. Okay. So how to create sales success in your business is really just those 5 simple steps. It's a self-management, it's controlling activity, it's dreaming big, starting small, it's prioritizing your revenue generating activities. Okay. It's RGAs, not being busy just to be busy. You're busy writing proposals no one's ever going to read. Don't do that. Get the yes first and then send them a proposal. And be consistent. Listen, it's if your word is not working, it is working, just not yet. I'm Bruce Hill. New skills, new you for the Sales Success Sunday. Don't be traumatized by sales. Join sales support at ineedsalessupport.com.